So it has been a huge July 4th weekend for NASCAR in particular, and for the drivers, particularly Jason Leffler, number 38, and Joey Logano, number 20. Logano won a nationwide series race at Daytona Friday night, and Leffler came in second. Then, last night at the Coke 0400 Sprint Series in Daytona, Logano finished third. Well, recently, face-to-face, I was the passenger, and Leffler was behind the wheel on the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Oh my gosh. That was fun. So off the track, more face-to-face with Leffler and Logano. And we also posed some of your questions about racing and their careers to them. Take a look. So I've got a couple questions coming from viewers. And one is, what do the drivers today know of its heritage?
I think a lot of them do. I think it's come up more recently since the Hall of Fame opened up, and you pay more attention to it. You know, it's easy to have tunnel vision and focus on exactly what you're doing, but it's, you know, I'm a fan of the sport before I was a driver, and you know, you'd like to know the heritage and where it started and how it started and hear all the stories. That's really cool to see.
Any thoughts on that, Jason?
Yeah, same here. I mean, I'm a fan of auto racing, so I'd like to think I know a lot about the history of all types of racing, especially NASCAR. So to come here to the Hall of Fame and check these cars out, and it's pretty cool. And every fan should come here and look at where it all began.
It is a beautiful place. It's so inspiring, too. Jason, you first. You know, how do you condition yourself to drive that many laps, and how do you maintain and stay in the right lane when cars are turning?
On the racetrack?
Yeah.
You just react, but condition, I work out every day I'm home, and got a trainer and work out hard. And you know, there's really no conditioning for racing other than driving. It's the best conditioning, but you know, as far as staying in the lane, I don't know. I didn't know there was a proper lane. Some guys you just got to watch out for. Some guys you got to expect the unexpected.
Yeah. Maybe they mean not wiping out, staying on the track.
Exactly.
What would be your thought on physical training, or do you have a routine, or do you try to maintain that same kind of stamina?
Same as Jason here. You work out every time you're home, but you know, being in the car, seat time is the most important thing, and you can't do that every day. There's no way it's possible. It costs so much money to go test with these cars these days. The amount of tires and you know, flying your team to a racetrack and spending, you know, a day there testing, renting the track out. It's not possible to be able to do that. So that's why you do all this other stuff to mentally prepare yourself and try to prepare yourself as much as you possibly can for when you get to the racetrack, because you can't, like I said, you can't drive a race car every single day. Something I do a lot is I have a simulator, and you know, and I'll go to racetracks, and I feel like that's the closest thing I can do, you know, to do that. And you know, every once in a while you get the bug, and I'll go to the go-kart track and mess around with my friends. You know, I mean, you want to go race and stuff like that, and I think all that actually helps. I really think.
All right, 5 o'clock Eastern, these rock stars of the racetrack tell me face-to-face the keys to their greatness. All right, it's been a huge July 4th weekend for NASCAR and for drivers Jason Leffler, number 38, and Joey Logano, number 20. Logano won a nationwide series race at Daytona Friday night, and then Leffler came in second. And then last night at the Coke 0400 Sprint Series race, Logano finished third in a pool of more than 40 drivers. Well, recently, face-to-face, I was the passenger, and Leffler was behind the wheel on the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Doesn't look like it, but we went about 170 miles an hour, and then we slowed it all down, talking face-to-face with Leffler and Logano at the NASCAR Hall of Fame about how long they'll actually be in the race. You've got a 3-year-old son, Charlie. We talked a little bit on the racetrack about what would happen if he says, you know, I want to do this? Or do you expect that your 3-year-old is naturally going to want to be a race car driver like Dad?
You know, I don't expect it. If he wants it, like I said, I will give him that opportunity. But I want him to want to do it.
I guess it's kind of a hard question to answer because I'm not in
Because you're not there yet.
shoes yet. But, you know, it's like Jason said, I've raced against kids that were pushed by their parents to race. And I remember running quarter midgets and, you know, I'd win all the time and I'd beat this kid and his father would yell and scream at him. And I started to feel bad I beat him. You know, I was like, oh, but I still beat him anyway.
You felt bad for a little bit.
I had to feel bad. I was like, you know, the poor kid's crying. I mean, we were 6, 7 years old. His father's yelling at him because he made a mistake on the track and this and that. I'm like, this is supposed to be fun. You know, I mean, this is not, we have plenty of time to make this serious when we get to this level. You know, the thing is, when you're young, you just want to have fun with it. You're a kid, be a kid.
So you want to tighten.
Okay. Right there is where
Yeah. How long do you see yourself driving? Is this something that, you know, you say, I'm going to do this until I'm, you know, in my 50s or 60s, or is this something that has kind of like a stopping point because of the toll it takes on your body?
Yeah, I mean, I see myself driving for a long time. I don't know in what series or what class. If the opportunities still come and the rides are competitive, I'll keep going. Might be a day when I move back to Indiana and go dirt track racing full time and call it my retirement. But you know, I'm going to drive for a long, long time.
You know, I think I've been doing this for a long time. I think something's really cool is I look at Red Farmer, and he's been racing forever. I think he's 79, 80. I'm not really sure. He's still racing. He's got a dirt late model, and he runs dirt races. There's only 43 of us every weekend that are able to do it. And, you know, it's hard. It's just, it's probably tougher now than it's ever been because of the economy and hard to get sponsors. That's when you get a good sponsor like the Home Depot or GameStop. You really want to do everything you can to please them and to keep them happy as you can.
So now what is this feeling? Here we are in this NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte, and you look around and see these cars, you see the drivers who are honored. What are your hopes of one day being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Jason?
Well, I'd like to be, but first, you know, you got to do something special. I mean, this is the elite here, so you got to make yourself part of that elite group. You know, win a lot of races, win championships, and you never know in this business. You know, still, you're always looking for that next big thing.
Do you have aspirations of one day being in the Hall of Fame?
Doesn't everyone want to be in a Hall of Fame of some sort? There's only 10 drivers in this, or 10, not just drivers, there's other people in here that are in the racing sport that are in the Hall of Fame. You know, so I say we race against the best of the best. That's the best of the best of the best. You know, that's really, really impressive just to be sitting here and looking at the cars they used to race. I just think it's so cool.
All right, they may not be inducted as of yet in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, but there's no denying that Logano and Leffler are huge successes on the track. Coming up, the top drivers will reveal their keys to their greatness. NASCAR drivers Joey Logano and Jason Leffler are on top of the sport, dominating racetracks across the U.S. I asked them face-to-face to reveal their keys to greatness. There were 3 things that you think are the keys to your greatness. What would they be? Or 3 things you know you needed to have, or things you continue to hold on to? Those 3 keys to your greatness.
Passion, number 1. I think you have to have a passion for it. Opportunity. Now, whether that means, you know, the opportunity your parents provided for you, opportunities you got down the road. 3rd one, you can't be fearful. You got to be brave.
Yeah, like I said, the will to win, you know, keeps you focused, which I think is number 2, is being focused. Being focused again. I mean, I think it's that much into that. You know, I think just really, really wanting to do this and, you know, and doing all that, you know, and finding a way to have fun. You know, enjoy the moment that you're in, because not many people can sit in these shoes or sit in this seat today that I am in. So find a way to have fun with it and enjoy it, because you never know when it's going to end.
Joey Logano, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good to see
Appreciate
you
it.
again. Jason Leffler,
Nice.
thank you so much. And if you want to see more of my face-to-face interviews with NASCAR greats, Joey Logano and Jason Leffler, just visit my Facebook page or just log on to cnn.com/Frederica. And if you have a question, of course, you can always tweet me at @FWhitfield.